Hudson's Bay Company, established in 1670, was North America's oldest retailer. In 2025, this iconic brand filed for bankruptcy, marking the end of a 340-year legacy. The fall of Hudson's Bay is not just a story of retail decline. It's a reflection of a shifting economic landscape, poor management decisions, and the inability to adapt in time to technological and consumer behavior changes. The company began as a fur trading enterprise and gradually transformed into a department store chain, becoming a household name across Canada. For centuries, Hudson's Bay played a central role in Canadian commerce and culture, symbolized by its iconic multicolored stripes and reputation for quality. Over time, the retail environment changed, and Hudson's Bay struggled to keep up with competitors who were quicker to embrace modern retail trends. From 2023 to 2024, the company experienced a drastic decline in its financial performance. Revenue dropped from approximately CAD $1.65 billion in 2023 to CAD $111 billion in 2024. E-commerce revenue nearly halved from CAD $300 million to CAD $142 million during the same period. The fiscal year ending January 31, 2025 revealed a staggering net loss of CAD $329.7 million. These figures underscore a broader trend. The company was unable to attract enough customers, either online or in store, to maintain profitability. One of the most visible signs of Hudson's Bay's decline was the condition of its physical stores. Customers reported broken escalators and elevators, malfunctioning HVAC systems, and outdated interiors. Sparse staffing led to poor service, and the lack of product variety left shelves looking barren. For many loyal customers, the in-store experience no longer matched the prestige once associated with the brand, and foot traffic declined steadily. Strategically, the company made several missteps that compounded its problems. In 2021, Hudson's Bay separated its online and offline operations, aiming to create a specialized e-commerce focus. However, the decision led to confusion among consumers and internal inefficiencies. By 2022, the separation was reversed, but the damage to brand cohesion had already been done. This back and forth demonstrated a lack of clear direction at the executive level. Another pivotal moment came in 2024 when Hudson's Bay, through its parent company HBC, acquired luxury department store chains Neiman Marcus and Bergdorf Goodman for $2.7 billion. While the acquisition formed the new entity Saks Global, it diverted much-needed capital away from maintaining and revitalizing the core Hudson's Bay business. This move also strained vendor relationships as payments were delayed and operational complexity increased. The acquisition was seen as a bet on luxury retail, but it left the traditional Hudson's Bay stores behind. On March 7, 2025, Hudson's Bay filed for creditor protection under Canada's Companies Creditors Arrangement Act, CCAA. This legal step marked the beginning of the end for the retailer. A month later, liquidation sales began at all remaining stores, and by June 15, 2025, all Hudson's Bay locations were scheduled to close. To stay operational during the initial stages of restructuring, the company secured CAD $16 million in debtor-in-possession financing. But this was far from sufficient to address its nearly CAD $1 billion in liabilities. Creditors included landlords, suppliers, banks, and government agencies. As part of the bankruptcy proceedings, the company began selling off valuable assets. Canadian Tire purchased Hudson's Bay's trademarks and some digital assets for CAD $30 million. A separate auction was held for 4,400 pieces of art and historical artifacts, including the company's original 1670 Royal Charter. These auctions symbolized the final dismantling of a once great institution. The bankruptcy had a profound impact on various stakeholders. Nearly 9,400 employees found themselves facing unemployment or significant job uncertainty. Morale had already been low due to operational inefficiencies and lack of communication from leadership. But the filing added fear and confusion to the mix. Customers were similarly affected. A loyalty program relaunched in 2023 failed to retain shoppers, and by March 12, 2025, the program was officially discontinued. For many, the degradation of the in-store and online experience eroded trust in the brand. Suppliers were left in a difficult position, many having shipped goods without payment. Landlords were also hit hard, especially mall operators who relied on Hudson's Bay as an anchor tenant to draw foot traffic. The ripple effect of the company's closure extended well beyond retail. impacting communities and commercial property values. Hudson's Bay is a cautionary tale of what happens when a company fails to adapt quickly enough in an ever-changing market. Despite its historical significance and emotional resonance with Canadians, it was unable to overcome the challenges posed by digital transformation, poor capital allocation, and misaligned strategic priorities. The bankruptcy not only closed a chapter in retail history, but also raised questions about the future of legacy brands in a tech-driven economy. While the brand itself may still exist in some form, owned now by Canadian Tire, the Hudson's Bay experience, as millions knew, it is gone. Its fall serves as a sobering reminder that no institution, no matter how historic, is immune to the forces of change if it doesn't evolve alongside them. So what could Hudson's Bay have done differently? First and foremost, the company needed to take digital transformation seriously, and much earlier. In the early 2010s, while competitors like Amazon, Walmart, and even Canadian Tire were aggressively building their digital presence, Hudson's Bay lagged. It treated online retail as a secondary channel rather than integrating it into a seamless omni-channel strategy. A more proactive investment in e-commerce infrastructure, fulfillment technology, and customer data analytics could have positioned the company as a formidable online player. Instead, its website remained clunky, its delivery service inconsistent, and its digital marketing uninspired. The company also needed to rethink the physical retail experience. Rather than allowing stores to deteriorate, it could have modernized them into community-driven, experiential spaces. Retailers like Apple and Nike have demonstrated the value of turning brick-and-mortar locations into hubs of engagement, not just sales. Hudson's Bay could have embraced this by offering in-store events, exclusive product launches, and personalized shopping services. Instead, walking into a Hudson's Bay in 2024 felt like stepping into a time capsule, stale, dimly lit, and out of touch. Leadership also failed to listen to changing consumer preferences. As younger generations became more eco-conscious, brand loyalty resistant, and digitally native, Hudson's Bay continued to rely on an aging clientele and outdated promotional tactics. By failing to connect with millennials and Gen Z, it alienated a demographic crucial to long-term survival. There was an opportunity to build private label brands that resonated with younger consumers, similar to what Target and Zara have successfully done. But instead of innovating, Hudson's Bay leaned heavily on legacy labels and long-standing vendor relationships that no longer inspired customer enthusiasm. The acquisition of Neiman Marcus and Bergdorf Goodman, while ambitious, also signaled a serious miscalculation. The luxury market is highly competitive and already saturated with established players. Diverting resources to acquire these brands while neglecting Hudson's Bay's core business was a high-risk move that backfired. The company stretched itself too thin, hoping prestige would translate into profits. But without the foundational stability at home, the gamble only exposed deeper weaknesses. One of the most overlooked root causes of Hudson's Bay's downfall was a culture of short-termism at the executive level. Many decisions were made to placate investors and maintain quarterly performance metrics rather than ensure the brand's health over decades. Cost-cutting measures like understaffing, deferred maintenance, and vendor payment delays created a snowball effect of declining morale, worsening customer experiences, and strained partnerships. Sustainable retail requires long-term vision, and that vision was absent. Additionally, the company underestimated the pace at which retail was changing. In an era when consumer expectations are shaped by same-day shipping, AI-driven personalization, and immersive digital experiences, Hudson's Bay was still relying on print catalogs and outdated POS systems. Its failure to implement modern CRM tools meant it lacked insights into customer behavior and preferences, which are essential for targeted promotions, loyalty programs, and inventory optimization. Another critical issue was poor internal communication and execution. Store managers often operated with little autonomy or support from corporate leadership. Decisions made at the top were inconsistently implemented across the chain, leading to fragmented branding and operations. Employees were unclear on corporate direction and had little incentive to innovate or go the extra mile. Hudson's Bay also missed strategic partnership opportunities. Collaborations with popular Canadian brands, influencers, or tech companies could have revived its image. A limited edition clothing line with local designers, integration with mobile-first payment solutions, or partnerships with social platforms for live stream shopping events are just a few ideas the company could have explored. Instead, it remained isolated and insular, hoping tradition alone would secure its place in the market. Finally, there was a failure to understand and serve regional markets. While Hudson's Bay was a national chain, consumer needs and preferences vary significantly across provinces and cities. A more decentralized approach to merchandising and store layouts might have better reflected local demographics and shopping patterns. Instead, the company applied a one-size-fits-all strategy, which often missed the mark. In summary, Hudson's Bay did not fall overnight. Its collapse was the result of years of missed opportunities, a failure to innovate, and a reluctance to let go of the past. If the company had embraced digital transformation earlier, reinvested in store experiences, adapted to younger audiences, and made more thoughtful strategic investments, it might still be thriving today. The lessons from Hudson's Bay's downfall are clear. In retail, evolution is not optional, it's essential.